Well, a Ukrainian ambassador in South Africa, Liubov Abravitova, says that Ukraine is committed to strengthening its bilateral ties with South Africa. She says President Volodymyr Zelenskyy looks forward to the working visit in Pretoria this coming Thursday. Now, this comes as the conflict between Russia and Ukraine intensifies. Here's SABC's Kailihle Kumalo.
Well, absolutely quite a very important week for South Africa and Ukraine. We know it's going to be a very historic visit by the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy here in South Africa. Who would forget in 2023 when President Cyril Ramaphosa led the African leaders as part of their peace mission. And subsequent to that, we've seen a number of interactions between the two leaders. But really just to shed some light about the importance of these working visits, we're joined by Ambassador Abravitova right here in South Africa from Ukraine. Maybe just first of all, Ambassador, let's talk about the importance of this visit. It comes at a very incredibly tough time globally with a number of geopolitical tension and all sorts of things. But Ukraine and South Africa, this is something you have been seeking for some time. Tell us about the importance of this visit.
Absolutely, you're right. We're working towards this historical visit for a long time, more than 30 years, I would say, because this is the first visit of President of Ukraine to South Africa and first visit of President Zelenskyy to Africa as well. Moreover, it's happening in the very important months of freedom. I think this is not coincidental, and we definitely will speak a lot about freedom, human rights, about the international law and all the beautiful things that unite us. But of course, we will also speak about bilateral relations and the way forward for our countries, how we are growing sustainably and, of course, peacefully.
Ambassador, obviously, we saw those horrific scenes from February 2022 when your country was invaded by Russia. I would imagine the war will also feature quite prominently, given the humanitarian crisis that you have seen, but also how this war really has changed the security architecture in Europe. Given all these developments, I would imagine that's another very important area that you'll focus on.
It changed dramatically the security architecture in Ukraine, in Europe, in the world. And we witnessed the development of different alliances. We've seen how NATO grown, with two extra huge countries just on the border with Russia. We witnessed how Ukraine suddenly appeared on the maps of many countries, including South Africa. We witnessed that the world recognized that the violation of territorial integrity and sovereignty of one country by another one has repercussion and effect to entire world. And our esteemed viewers was not only witnessing, unfortunately, this, but also feeling on their own pockets.
And obviously, Ambassador, there has been quite a lot of developments. I mean, this past Easter period, we saw that unilateral ceasefire from Russia, but we believe that there has been a resumption of hostilities with the attack on your own country. Are we edging anywhere close to a ceasefire, to a peace deal? We've seen so many meetings where President Zelenskyy has gone to the US. We've seen the Trump administration also taking office. But are we anywhere close in seeing long-lasting peace in Ukraine?
I guess it was very significant for the last 1 month and a half to see the attempts of different leaders of the world to bring the aggression of Russia in Ukraine to the end and to negotiate the peace solution, which we insist has to be just peace and diplomatic solution. World witnessed that Ukraine stands committed to the diplomatic solution, while Russia even more intensified its aggression and its bombing of Ukrainian cities. So we don't have even to argue today that Russia doesn't want and doesn't need peace and is not prepared for the negotiations, and it showed that it was not and has been not committed to any type of engagement. That's why the visit of President Zelenskyy here is even more important, to discuss the way forward, to express with our own capacity, with our own language, what in our opinion is the root causes of this conflict. What is that exactly what can bring this war to the end and to guarantee Ukraine its survival and its existence, but also what can guarantee us that we as Ukraine, as the breadbasket of Europe, of the world, how we can contribute to the sustainable development of the world.